Yeah, and a disappointing afternoon. Maybe you can bring the fans up to speed of just what's exactly happened this afternoon.
Well, for those that were in the stadium, obviously you would have noticed the lights flickering just before the match was due to kick off, just a few minutes before it was due to kick off. And then some smoke that was coming from the corner of the main stand and the Cooper stand. That's essentially one of our generators kicking and starting up. There's been a power outage, which no doubt everybody will know about by now. Quite a significant one in North Lanarkshire by all accounts. So no power coming into the stadium, but we obviously have a backup system here, 2 generators which kick in when we lose power, so that we can run the stadium, get the emergency lighting done, etc., and so that we can make sure anybody that's in the stadium, can get them out of the stadium safely, etc. So that's essentially what's happened. We've had a major power failure outside the stadium coming in, and when that happens and you're told that it's going to be at the earliest about 6 o'clock, at the very earliest, before they think they can perhaps get it fixed, there's no decision to be made, unfortunately, and I know we're all very frustrated about it. I know supporters will think we've got a bit of form here with the unfortunate events against Hibernian last year, but
it's key to highlight there is a major difference between the two events. One was an in-stadium event, but this one's actually an area event as opposed to Fir Park in specific.
Yeah, I mean, last year was a significant, event in the stadium insofar as there was a fire, a significant fire that caused a great amount of danger. This is, and it was dealt with at the time. This is external. This is basically the power company coming in from the grid into the stadium, fails, and I believe that there are other significant organisations in North Lanarkshire who don't have power at the minute. Wishaw General obviously being one of them, so it's more important that they have power than we do. So we're very understanding of that. Everybody's very frustrated, I'm sure, but that's just what happens, unfortunately.
How frustrated are you as somebody who runs the club and has control of the purse strings that a Saturday 3 o'clock game is off? Is that one you just have to take in the chin, I suppose?
I think we've just got to be realistic, Alan. Nobody goes out to have a power failure. We've had a power failure, of course. We've had it 2 minutes before the game's about to kick off, and virtually every supporter's in the stadium, every hospitality, every guest, all the players are ready to go. It couldn't be worse timing. It absolutely couldn't be worse timing. If it had happened 3/4 of the way through, we'd have taken the decision to run the game, but it happened before the game kicked off. So that left us. We asked for a delay for 10 minutes till we ascertained exactly what was happening, if it was fixable, what the likely timelines were, and when it was obvious that it wasn't fixable, it was out with what we could do here at the stadium. There's no choice, there's no decision to be made, unfortunately, and I'm really sorry for people who came today. I really am sorry for folk who came today, but hopefully you would have got your ticket leaving the stadium, so that that's valid for the next game when that happens. And if you don't want to come to that game for whatever reason, you'll get your money refunded for that. So we're not desperately happy about it, but we've also got to understand that these things happen, they're out with our control, and we just have to take it on the chin and get on with it.
What have you, I know it's so early after the event, have you had an opportunity to speak with Stephen Thompson about a possible rearrangement, or is it that too early to get into that kind of level of discussion?
It's a little bit too early. What I've said to Stephen is, obviously with his supporters, there'll be many of them who for whatever reason won't be able to travel down to the next game. The reason they got a ticket today along with our supporters is really just to prove that they were in the ground, so they can have a refund if they wish, or they can come to the next match. So nobody's going to be forced to attend a match or lose their money for a game they can't attend. So we'll talk to the SPL later on. We'll speak to Stephen. In fact, I'll go back up and have another word with him now, and then we'll see if we can get a time that or a date that works for both clubs. We can get that agreed early. We can get it in the diary. But we all Saturday 3 o'clock. We had a Saturday 3 o'clock here last week. We've lost one. We're not happy. We're not great. It's not fantastic, but it's happened.
Thanks, Leann.
You're very welcome.